I think in order to learn how to treat people really well, unfortunately, you have to kind of be treated like shit to realize what you're willing to accept. And if you're not willing to accept something, why would you treat anybody else that way?
Hey guys, welcome to Serious Laughs. This is episode 6, The Day I Unraveled. How our challenges offer a wake-up call to get us out of our comfort zones.
When we unravel, we are offered an opportunity to meet ourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Molly. I'm a small business owner and foster dog mom.
Hey everyone, I'm Sheri. I am a mom and almost empty nester. Talk about opportunities to unravel. Life is always giving them to us.
And we have a freaking amazing guest today. Sheri, take it away. Tell us who we've got on the podcast.
Oh my God, Molly, I'm so excited. We have the Jordan Rosenstein, Makeup by Joro. Yes, if it sounds familiar, it's because she is famous. She is amazing. And I know personally because she worked on my face. My God. And when I tell you, like, the compliments I got, which we'll get into, but first and foremost, Jordan is an Atlanta-based makeup artist, Makeup by Joro, specializing in elevated glam for on-camera talent, brides, business owners, and the everyday woman. She considers her work more than just a makeup application. It's also healing and emotional. Love that. Welcome to the show, Jordan.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited and grateful to be on.
We're happy to have you. As you can see, I keep changing my lighting because I'm not going to look as good as you. I keep fucking changing my
light. I can send you my Amazon. You can order it from my storefront. Shop Makeup by Joro.
Oh yeah, we'll put that in the links. Shop Makeup by Joro.
Makeup by Joro.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Oh my God, it is such a gift to be worked on by Jordan. It is really an experience. You feel cared for and nurtured, and what she does, it's kind of like Michelangelo. You know, Michelangelo said, well, the statue was already there. You just had to take out the excess, right? So she takes that. She brings out what's already there. She enhances your natural features, and she creates an emotional connection with you so that your authentic self can shine through. And that's a gift.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's what I really try. I think we all as women, we know that there's so much pressure to look a certain way that we allow all those outside voices to get inside of us and to make us feel small and less than and unattractive or untrendy or old. And when I see someone for the first time, I see how truly beautiful they are, and I see what their best features are and how I can play those up to make them feel just as beautiful as I see them to be. Someone did that for me a very long time ago, and it's what I've always strived. What's the word?
If we say it with confidence, it works.
Exactly. I always strive to make people feel their best self. So I loved working with you, Sheri, because every day, it didn't matter what kind of chaos was going on behind the scenes, quite literally, we just had that moment together, and I got to make you feel comfortable and confident and beautiful before you stepped in front of the camera, and you just reinforced that I knew what I was doing. I didn't have to overthink it, that I had the opportunity because I was ready for it. So it's a teamwork between me and every person that sits in my chair.
Well, and
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Especially at such a young age to have somebody do that to you, and then seriously, and then where you can go and pass that on. Especially, women of certain ages, you get to that point. I was just telling Sheri the other day, I'm at that point where I put mascara on, and if it gets on my skin under my eyes, I just don't even care anymore. I'm like, I just walk around with mascara on my face.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. Well, all right. I stand to be corrected.
Interesting, because you focus so much, our show talks about relationships, and you focus so much on the relationship between you and the canvas you see with the soul behind it. But I wonder, just like they say, a chef who doesn't, make dinner for herself. So is that the case for you, that you're so busy taking care of the relationship with others that you forget you?
Sometimes yes. Going back to the pandemic, I was obviously wearing a mask when I was doing services, so I wasn't even bothering with any skin or face or complexion makeup at all. I was just doing my eyes. I was doing a lot of glitter, a lot of mascara, a lot of eyebrow. I mean, the eyebrow blindness was let's just not even look back in the archives because it was really, really bad. But there's learning and growth that happens. But I would say that on myself, I definitely have a much lighter hand. I would rather, for myself at least, focus more on skincare so that I could just kind of play up my eyes because that's my favorite feature. And then when I have the time to do a full face and to give myself the service that I give others, I do. But if I get mascara up here, we're walking out the door. I don't have the time.
Nice.
But if I'm doing it for someone else, they will be my vision of perfection. Like they will be, because one, they are a walking billboard for me and I want them to feel and look their best. But it goes back to mostly how I want to make someone feel. And I don't want them to constantly be checking their phone or checking, in the car mirror. Do I look good? You're going to look great. You just have to trust me and I will trust you. But yeah, I should give myself the TLC that I give to other people. Something I'm working on, but most days it's pretty minimal, as you can see.
Stunning is what we can see.
Thank you.
Stunning.
Thank you.
Molly had a question for you, right?
I did. Yeah. I mean, you're so young already. But I was reading kind of your backstory and, in our early years as children, we're so sponge-like, right? That our psyche is continuously soaking up all the behaviors of those people around us. So what was a glaring behavior that you soaked up as little Jordan and like internalized it? What was something that you soaked up?
Yeah. So I come from a family of really strong, independent women. Things haven't always come easy to them, but they've always done what they had to do in order to put their best foot forward and take care of their kids. And on the other hand, I also saw my mom specifically be friends with some women that were very self-critical. And in front of me, in front of her daughter. And so I had this dichotomy of my mom always encouraging me to do the things that made me feel confident, be myself, don't care what anyone else thinks. And then I had my friend's mom who I watched just pick herself apart in the mirror, whether it was her hair was too frizzy or flat, or she wasn't thin enough, or she didn't like how these jeans looked on her. And those are conversations that I still hear in my mind. And I have to remind myself, that's somebody else's. I don't have to take that on. And so when I work with people, they'll sit there and they'll say, I hate my wrinkles. I hate this. I hate that. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You may hate your wrinkles, but that shows how much life you've lived. That shows how many times you've nearly peed because you've laughed so hard with your best friends. It shows all of the smiles of watching your kids grow up. It shows the fear of being a little kid and, jumping off a swing for the first time. Our wrinkles tell stories. And so I always try to remind women especially that the things that we hate the most about ourselves because they're undesirable, they're beautiful. And somebody else would be so grateful to have those features. And people pay a lot of money to have certain features. So, love what you have.
I love that, and I have to just ask you work on men too, and when you're doing movies and that kind of thing, is there ever that dynamic there with some of the men too?
Honestly, not really. I mean, the men will always say, oh, I don't want any drag lashes, and they'll usually make a joke. And with them, they don't have the same. What's the word I'm looking for? Insecurities. Men just don't have the same insecurities as women do. When they sit in my chair, they'll say, I typically for talent, they will wear makeup. They've worn it before, and I'll just say, yeah, we're just going to powder you down, maybe add a little bit of concealer, maybe, fluff your eyebrows, whatever. but they never sit in the chair saying, okay, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. This is what I want to conceal. This is what I want to enhance. Like they just sit in the chair and they're ready to go. And I think that's so interesting because even in business, men will just get dressed and go, whereas women will spend so much time on how are we going to present ourselves? How are we going to make sure that people perceive us? Like I feel
Molly and I are just
women, the fears, they never stop. They never stop. And it's interesting when men sit in my chair, they don't have any of those concerns. It's just the women.
Gosh.
It's almost like we're born with emotional Spanx.
You need to put that on a t-shirt. You need to trademark that because that's funny.
Thank you.
I like that, emotional Spanx. Like we feel like we're constantly having to just hold everything in. Yeah, to elude this perception of perfection that's just never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. And it's getting comfortable with that. And I think there's a gift to aging if we're willing to look at it, which is what you said so beautifully, Jordan. The wrinkles tell a story. Embrace it. No one else has your story.
No.
And it's a gift to have gotten to that point. Circling back to what Molly asked you. So how did your perception of your childhood watching that dichotomy, how did it affect who you are today? You know, you took in the strong mom role and you took in the weak friend. I don't want to say weak, but the self-critical, insecure. Yeah. How did, seeing such contrasting things when we're sponges, like Molly said, I mean, how do you walk away? What do you walk away and deduce from that today?
I think back a lot to when I was in high school. And I think like a lot of young women, I struggled with disordered eating. And I would constantly hear my friend's mom just, again, picking herself apart in the mirror. And this is a woman who is just naturally so petite, has a very small frame. She's Jewish, but without our hips. Sheri, she's very blessed.
I like my hips.
I like my hips too, but she has no hips, and she would just still be so critical on herself. And so as a teenager, I was a cheerleader, and everybody's looking at you. And I was on YouTube, and again, everybody's looking at you. And I would hear her voice in my mind. And for a long time, I allowed that to be the loudest voice in my head, despite having my mom and my aunts and really positive female role models in my life, echoing a complete different belief system. And then when I was in college, I really started to come into my own and realize, like, it doesn't matter if I'm a size 0 or a size 20. I am me, and people love me for me. It doesn't matter what I look like on the outside. And that's something that I still have to remember all these years later. And, most days it's fine, but there are definitely those times where the social anxiety creeps up and I start picking myself apart about what I look like, about how people are going to perceive me. And I just have to remind myself, like, you need to take a breath. It's not that deep. You are not the center of everyone else's universe, maybe my own. But nobody else is perceiving me the way that I am.
No, we are our own harshest critic.
Absolutely. And
that's huge.
And I think just remembering that and just taking a minute to, like, okay, I can be self-conscious about this. That's a feeling. That's an emotion. I'm going to address it, but I'm not going to let it be the thing that I carry with me throughout the day or throughout the experience.
So that's huge. Like, Molly, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go for it. I'm writing notes.
Okay. I'm just blown away. A couple of things. I commend you for being aware and being compassionate with yourself. Like, okay, so when I'm anxious, there's that self-aware piece. I revert back to criticizing myself. But once I become aware of that, I can change those old patterns. And I also find it fascinating that your mom, who is a positive, strong role model, next to this woman who was so petite growing up and put herself down, when you go to a place of fear or lack, she is who comes to mind. And I want what was that what you were going to say?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's
we
that
have
negative voice
bias.
Yeah. Ew.
And,
yeah. I mean,
so okay.
no, you go.
Okay, this is it. I hurt my knee. Better than my big hips. No, I'm kidding. I love my big hips. No, okay. So Arthurian laughs where we medicate ourselves. Just kidding. Not just kidding. Not
a little bit.
Just kidding. Okay, no. So the fact that the mom, the woman, your mom's friend with the petite hips, left that legacy. I want everyone listening to hear that, because we as women, we carry the opportunity, as long as we're alive, to create a new pattern for future generations. Mm-hmm. Kids are listening. Young girls are listening. Our daughters are listening. Our nieces, the kids in your classroom, if you're listening. Whoever it is that you know that's a young person, or even an older person, I think we owe it to each other to say, hey, when we hear someone putting themselves down, cut that shit out.
I literally say it to my Nana all the time. Yeah. My Nana, God bless her, is in her 80s. She's incredible. I love her, but she's older, and she will still say things that I'm like, we don't say that anymore. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to be on Weight Watchers or Atkins or whatever. Eat what you want when you're hungry, and don't worry about it. If you feel sick later, then maybe don't eat it next time. Like, you don't have to sit there and beat yourself up and say, well, I did this and I have to punish myself. No, we are in a space of loving and learning and healing. And it's reminding those older generations, especially now that I'm starting to have nieces and nephews. So those are her great grandchildren. I'm like, Nina, you can't say that around them, because they're not going to hear it anywhere else. Because me and my generation, we're doing this differently. We're not going to let young girls experience what we did in the early 2000s, with like these stick skinny heroin chic models on the cover of magazines that made all of us second guess ourselves. Like, we're not doing that anymore. And it starts with us, and it starts with holding our elders accountable, so that way we can all be better for the next generation.
Well said. Well said. And I just have boys in the house, and I also have to watch myself. So whoever you're, I mean, and I think sometimes, and Sheri, maybe you do this too, it's like a self-deprecating thing sometimes too. And you think it's funny, but it's also like, no, they're hearing that. They're hearing the insecurity come out of my mouth right now. And we've had this conversation before. My little guy picked up on it one time and said, "Don't say that about yourself, Mom," because I had said it the day before or something. So I love that you're doing that with your Nana. That's incredible. How does she respond to that?
She'll say, "Well, I'm older." I said, "Okay, and you're still here. And if we are learning, you are learning too."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And learning doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be linear. You can slip up. This is what I have to remind myself, is that every person on this planet, this is the first time that we are experiencing this life. Like, we're all doing this for the first time, even though we're at different stages. Like, my mom is in her 50s. She's never been 54 until now. Like, she's never been that age with children, mine and my siblings' ages before. So it's her first time too. So I think not only holding space and having grace for yourself, but also for all of the other people in your life, it allows you to be a little bit more compassionate. And just to remember, especially, going back to when I'm working with people, like, inside, they're still a little 5-year-old. They're still a teenager. They're still, whatever age that they are and will be. And, if you can remember that, it makes it a little bit easier to be compassionate and empathetic, and to help someone, again, kind of, if they can't check themselves and pull themselves out of a negative headspace, that you can do that for them, like help them get out of that headspace.
And I love the example of you giving your Nana, who you see is so wonderful, and she is, ostensibly in her 80s, and yet you are a legend to her, because I promise you, you must know this deep down. There's that point where she goes for her Cheetos or her whatever bagel, whatever, and she's
Lots
like,
of bagel.
you know what? Jordan told me not to worry. Don't count calories. Thank you. Do you love the way I made your Nana sandwich?
I do. She's a little more southern than that, but we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
She's a little more southern.
Yeah.
Jordan, she always tells me what to do.
See,
and you know what? I'm gonna
It's
rock
like
my
Southern Yenta.
85-year-old butt.
Southern Yenta, that's what she is.
Okay.
It's very unique. You'll have to meet her when you come to
I would
Atlanta.
love to meet her.
This is the best.
She worked
This is
on
the best.
If I Could Ride to a movie that will be out, I think in February.
I think so.
Oh, that's a quick turnaround, you guys. Yeah, that's how y'all met, by the way, on that movie.
They were editing on the second day. Like, they were editing that first day.
As you guys were still filming?
Don't worry,
boss
we'll be
move.
having If I Could Ride people on too. Calm down, everyone who's listening.
Other people,
Calm
relax.
down.
Just relax.
Jordan,
so,
you're amazing.
Yeah, you really are. This is so insightful. This is going to be so helpful it's already opened my eyes. We're talking about unraveling, right? Again, and we've all been there. So you said that your dream has always been to make movies. So you had this once in a lifetime opportunity. You jumped on it. You quit, correct? You quit your full-time job.
She's inhaling.
It was okay. Breathe. It was a stable career. You were a bridal makeup artist to pursue this full time. So how does that tie into your unraveling experience?
Oh my gosh. Well, I first want to say, I think we all unravel a few different times in our lives. And this
100%.
one for me was the most eye-opening of my life so far. I had this incredible opportunity. It was truly a once in a lifetime opportunity to work for one of my favorite A-list actors. We'll call her Nancy Drew. And I was working for her artist. And the artist was everything that I aspired to be on paper. She's an Oscar nominee. She has BAFTAs. She's won every award. She's critically acclaimed by everyone in my industry. And it was one of the most horrific experiences of my life. 2 weeks in, I did end up quitting my job. I was kind of given an ultimatum by my boss at the time to stick with the job that I loved or go after the career of my dreams. And obviously I took the career of my dreams. And I think the artist I was working for realized in that moment that like she had her hooks in me and that she could tell me to jump and I would do it. And instead of being her makeup production assistant, I was basically this woman's bitch. Like there's just no other way around it. I would run errands for her. She made me get into a dumpster once, sent me to a landfill for a script that I threw out, which I knew in my heart that I did not throw out. But like, you want to talk about gaslighting? Every day was a challenge. And I just kept reminding myself, this is what you wanted. You wanted this. You asked the universe for an opportunity and you got it. So you better be grateful because this is all you have now. And I was really hard on myself during that time. Not only was I trying to make this the experience that I wanted it to be, but I was also trying to impress this woman because I quit my job for her. And my goal with this was, if I'm going to quit my job for this person, I want to be so exceptional that she has to bring me back. And that is not what happened. Instead, I cried every day in the porta potties on set. They are a little bit nicer than the regular porta potties. There is a mirror in there and there's a flush and there's a fan. It's fine. But I cried every day in a porta potty. There was a day where she threw fried chicken at me because I'm a, quote, stupid American who doesn't know what a chicken thigh is. I live in the South. Okay. I promise you I know what fried chicken is. I do. But it was one of those things that in the moment I couldn't see through to the end. I just had to get to the end of the day. And now that I've been removed from it for almost 2 years to the day, I can see all of those lessons and hardships that made me not only a better makeup artist and maybe more professional on set, but things that made me stronger as a woman. On the movie that Sheri and I worked on, that was my first time having a makeup production assistant directly under me, someone just from my department. And I said to her, I didn't go into all the detail, but her name was Sydney, and she's amazing. And
Sydney's amazing, Sydney. We love you.
She's incredible. And I told her it's going to be really hard, but I was treated like shit, and I will never treat you like that. So if there's a time where you feel like I'm being too hard on you, please speak up, because I don't want you to have the experience that I had. Because movie making should be fun. It's beautiful. It's collaborative. You meet incredible people that you otherwise would not have met. I think our friendship is, I'm here.
Absolutely.
Because of something I did 3 years ago got me connected to this project where I met Sheri, and now I'm on your new podcast, guys. And that unraveling just reaffirmed that everything happens exactly as it is supposed to exactly as it is supposed to happen. We have an idea of where we want our lives to go, and my mom always says, "Man plans, God laughs," and that couldn't be more true. But I think, kind of going back to what I had mentioned earlier, is like, now that I have this awareness of just like, take a minute, feel what you're feeling, let it all out, and then get back to whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's building a business or working on set or just in your day job or just trying to get through the day. Like, we don't have to let these negative people, like my mom's friend, like the artist that I worked for, we don't have to let them define who we are, how we see ourselves, or how we're going to let experiences be remembered.
Beautifully said. And also, it's commendable that you were able to take these experiences and see them for the gift that they are, because I watched you with Sydney. I watched you with your makeup assistant. I watched you with other cast and crew, and you were assertive, but kind, compassionate, respectful. You were direct, but not cruel. This is what I need. Thank you. I do appreciate it. And just curious if you would have, I don't think you might have even thought about that had you not had those negative experiences. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think in order to learn how to treat people really well, unfortunately, you have to kind of be treated like shit to realize what you're willing to accept. And if you're not willing to accept something, why would you treat anybody else that way? And it happened on our set. There are a lot of differing personalities that just kind of butt heads sometimes. And it's, once again, I can let this person ruin this experience, or I can accept them for who they are, meet them where they're at, and then go along my merry way and do things my way, which, you kind of end up just having to do.
Right. It's about surrendering to what is and learning from it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I do have one final question, Molly. I didn't want to interrupt, though, if you were going to.
You literally are taking words out of my pie hole. Everything you said.
I'm sorry.
No, that's amazing.
And I'm taking it from you.
It's just take it right up. No, but that's what I'm going to say. Like, we're on the same wavelength. It was the exact same thing. I was just like the points you're bringing up. I have written like this and this and this, and just the fact, I don't need to reiterate it, but the piece that I love is that you had that experience, and like Sheri said, you were able to, at such a young age, say, there's a reason this is happening. I'm going to do what I have to do. And then it unfolded, and there was a reason it was happening. You learned from it. You grew from it. You moved on from it. You've based your life moving forward because of it. And I just, at such a young age, it's just incredible that you did that. So I just got to put that out there. I'm starting to sweat. That was so good.
So good. Sheri, Molly and I are closer to each other's generation than your generation. And like, we're both like, holy mama. Like, we're Generation X and you're not. And I know when I was Generation X, when I was your age, I was not a quarter as mature as you.
Oh, God, no.
Well, I didn't have idiots. It was always everybody else's fault.
Well, and
Yes,
I think for all of the bad that social media is, like, it can be really good in reminding ourselves that, like, we all struggle with mental health issues. We all struggle with some form of anxiety. We all have our demons. We all have our insecurities. And, you know, you don't have to talk about it with everyone, but just knowing that somebody else might feel that way, it makes it a little bit easier to talk about. And I think even back, 20 years ago when I was 8 years old, therapy was this like big scary thing. Like, you didn't go to therapy. Nobody
Don't
went to
ever
therapy
be
unless you were,
embarrassed
like,
of that.
actually mentally ill. And now I'm like, well, I don't have a therapist. I kind of feel a little bit left out. And it's not for lack of trying. I have contacted people and we are waiting to hear back if they're accepting new patients. But it's like there's a different perception and different vibe around taking care of yourself and protecting your energy and setting those healthy boundaries with friends and family and colleagues and random fucking people on the street that you don't want to pick up their energy on.
I'm
It's
blown
just
away
different.
that the culture's changed so much because when we were growing up, it was like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Move on.
Shut up. Are you still crying about that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that brings us to our last question because I know we don't want to run out of time. So I'm going to read this. I created this particular question ahead of time. So I don't want to mess it up. Authenticity, which is what we're really talking about here, being your authentic self. And it's highly underrated. We spend so much time and effort keeping our armor on in an effort to protect ourselves from getting hurt. Removing armor is authenticity in action. So, Jordan, how has unraveling affected your personal journey or relationship with authenticity? And how does makeup and authenticity, no pun intended, blend, no pun intended, beautifully together? Okay, yeah, I know.
I love it. No, I love it. I think when I first really started to get into makeup, I was in middle school, and I think we can all remember middle school as being one of the worst experiences collectively of our lives, just very awkward and just awful. Whoever invented the concept of middle school, fuck them. But that's when I started getting into makeup because it was quite literally my armor. I would cover every single freckle on my face. I wanted to be porcelain smooth. I hated everything about myself. And as I got older, it became less of an armor and more of an art form and more therapeutic and more of a way for me to express myself rather than try and change who I was and mask who I was. I think the pandemic and working for this artist brought up a lot for me that I had started to unearth these traumas that I didn't really realize were affecting me as much as they were. And so after I finished that project, I hope this is kosher to say, but I went on a little spiritual mushroom trip at a Lizzo concert, and my life changed. And I got home that night and I was crying, and I was like, you can go to bed and pretend like none of this has happened, or you can finally deal with it. And I think I was so beaten down at that point from working from that woman, also breaking up with my boyfriend during that time. I had moved back home. And so everything just felt like this big tower moment where everything was falling around me, and I could either crumble under the weight of it, or I could let the dust settle and rebuild myself. And I was able to finally work through a lot of really difficult things that I had been concealing from myself for so long. And I just decided I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not gonna hide behind this idea of who I am. I'm just going to be who I am. And the people that accept that will be in my life, and the people that don't will show themselves out. There will be people that like me. There will be people that hate me. There will be people that are indifferent. But all that matters is, am I living the life that 9-year-old and 11-year-old and 15-year-old and 21-year-old Jordan would be proud of? And I think I am. And it's not always glamorous, but I think I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And there are lessons that I'm learning every single day about why I am in the space that I'm in. And I'm just reminded in moments like this that everything is happening exactly the way that it is supposed to. And I don't need to be someone else or create this alternate version of myself to fit some mold that society says that I should be. I don't have to be on the same timeline as all of my friends. They're getting married and buying houses and having babies, and I'm, partying until 4 a.m, but it's fine. Everybody's journey is different. And I think that's what makes life so beautiful, is that it is exactly what you want it to be. And that's whatever you wake up and decide you want it to be that day.
Wow. Are you sure you're not our age?
Sometimes I feel it. I've been feeling it in my hips a little bit, in my knees, really.
You're so mature beyond your years.
Thank you.
Do people tell you you have an old soul? Have you heard that before?
Always. Since I was 5 or 6 years old. Yeah.
Oh, you're just so insightful, and you're so open to learning, and it's so refreshing. It's so fucking refreshing from somebody so young. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. It's just,
and you're poised, and you're full of grace. And I think that does happen through self-reflection and the willingness to, like a diamond is formed under pressure. It's not formed in beautiful conditions. So, and I love that you put yourself out there spiritually too, and took that. I've always wanted to, and I don't have the courage to do it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things where I just wanted to have a good time at a concert and just dance and let loose a little bit. And something out there, whatever it is, had different plans. And they were like, no. We have some work that we have to do. And it's work that I would not have, it's things that I definitely would not have been able to face on my own. I would have made excuses as to why I don't need to work on that, because I'm perfect and I don't need to do anything. And like, everybody accepts me exactly as I am. And it's like, bro, if you don't accept you as you are, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So and we talk about this too. It's hard. You realize it's going to be hard work. I swear to God, we talk about this every fucking episode.
It never stops.
It's hard work. Yeah.
But I think we need the reminder for each other.
We do.
It's fucking hard being a human here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
And again, like, we're all experiencing this for the first time.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's profound. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to remember
your grandma never was 80. You said she's 80 something.
Yeah.
She was never 80 something before. It wasn't like, oh, remember when I did that? No. First time for everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that takeaway.
Where can people find you? We adore you. People need to see your magic.
Thank you. I am mostly on Instagram and TikTok at Makeup by Joro. I am in this kind of rediscovery period of who I want to be as an artist, who I want to be as a business owner. And there are so many other artists out there. And I think I have a lot of imposter syndrome. And when it comes to like figuring out who I am, I struggle the most with who I am as an artist, because, it's so easy to compare yourself to everybody else. But I'm in this area of rediscovering my love for makeup. What made me fall in love with this in the first place? What made me want to do this as a profession? So on Instagram, you can see my portfolio. On TikTok, you can hear my ramblings about whatever it is that I'm doing. I went to my 10-year high school reunion, so I talked about that. Sometimes I talk about my cat. Sometimes I talk about mental health, all while I'm putting on some blush. So if that's something that interests you, I would love to have you join in on the fun. But yeah.
And I want everyone to know, when we worked on, when Makeup by Joro, hashtag Makeup by Joro. What are you wearing? Joro. So when I came home from the set, home, we were filming in Vermont, and it was a hotel. And one night I hadn't taken off the makeup because you make me look so pretty. And I'm doing laundry at the hotel, and there's this woman there, and she said, oh my God, your makeup, like, how did you do that? It looks so beautiful. Your face looks so beautiful. And I said, oh, it's Makeup by Joro. And she started Googling. She said, how can I find her? I want to be there. I want to go there. I want that face. And she didn't want my face. She wanted what you had created, the alchemy of working from one soul to another through the medium of makeup. And that's what you do. You bring that authenticity to every person's canvas.
I love it. And your website is makeupbyjoro.com. We're going to put all of your links on the screen for everybody to see. And you're such a delight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
That's a wrap, guys. Remember, when everything's going wrong, it just means you're crafting a great story. Stay tuned for more episodes where we turn life's lemons into laughable tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep finding the best in the worst, because life's too ridiculous not to laugh at it.